Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. I'm Starco Gaming, and today we're going to talk about the best S character in Grand Chase Mobile Global, guys. We're going to make sure to point it's the global server, guys, because the current version is a lot more advanced than the global version. So let's go in diary and the book and show the characters we're going to talk about today. Hero list. Pick S rank, and let's go with the tank to get started, guys. So in the tank as S rank, we got three tanks. We got Captain Boar, we got Poseidon, and we have Dolan. Okay, first, Dolan is not in the top tanks in this game, far from. He's not a bad tank, but he's not going to be on the list. Then you have Captain Boar. Captain Boar is actually a meta in PvP, but globally he's not the best of the rank S. The best in the rank S, guys, is going to be Poseidon. Not just she's kind of gorgeous, but her kit is actually good for everything in the game. Very good for PvP, really good for PvE too, if you actually need a tank in the PvE. So, how to acquire: Wizard Labyrinth, Hero Room Reward, Annihilation, Shop, Fusion Heroes, Treasure Chest again, from Platinum and Diamond, and from the shop can be acquired in the Summon shop. Now, if we take a look at the skills, that first you start with that skill, Power of God. It's actually pretty damn OP. Through the Power of God, basic skill attack damage dealt by enemy toward allies will be reduced by 100% for 5 seconds. So basically, with that skill, you can avoid taking damage for 5 seconds, which is actually very great, especially when at first you're progressing through Siege of Terraka and you're on the the mission number 7, and you actually have the big fire tornado coming at you. You can actually use this skill and just stand there and don't give a shit. I'm just standing there. Or the level 90 dimensional boss, when he actually drops his meteor, you can just pop that and you won't take damage. So this skill is very strong for both PvP and PvE mode. Then you have Divine Blessing. Create a shield for allies. Bestow Divine Blessing and grant ally a shield that is 40% their max HP for 3 seconds. That shield is very useful. Any game mode, you see big damage coming, you pop that, and well, 40% max HP shield, pretty much you won't take any damage. So it's very useful. Then you have is a special ability here. This special ability I was not impressed, but still a very good defensive ability for some PvE game mode where you're actually in trouble. Poseidon drops a trident in the targeted area that push back nearby enemies and deal 168% of physical attack damage. Near the trident, a 10-second sanctuary is created, and allies nearby will have their received basic skill attack damage reduced by 80%. So basically, what's amazing with Poseidon, guys, you can see with the active skill, is that she increases the survivability of your team by so much. She won't do much damage, she won't do much offensively, but defensively she make your whole team more resistance. And you have the passive here. When Poseidon is hit, there are 10% chance she will create a raging wave that will deal damage to enemies in the vicinity. Additional effect: for 5 seconds the target attack speed will be reduced by 50%. So mostly, guys, well, in PvP we removed that gun trident, but mostly this tank is good in every game mode. Like I said, PvP, PvE, PvE, PvP defense, dimensional boss when you're too much damage coming, she can be very useful in everything. We haven't experienced Raze yet, so I cannot tell if she's going to be very good for raid, but once the raid gets released, we're going to give her a review about the raid, that's for sure. So that's character number 1, the best tank in the game. Now if we move to the best assault in the game, this one is very easy. There's 2 people we can actually talk about: Olivia and Hanout. Hanout is PvP only. Hanout is very annoying in PvP and can actually will stun and silence casters a lot. That is the main job. On PvP defense, he will be amazing. On PvP defense, it's actually the only place that I will put him above Olivia. Now, with that said, the best assault rank S characters is Olivia, without a single doubt. This character is in the top 3 damage dealer for dimensional boss that include all the rank SR together. So rank S and SR, Olivia is a meta. She's going to be part of your main dimensional boss team to actually do the maximum amount of damage. Not just that she does good damage, but it's also the ability she actually brings with her special ability, which is just so plain amazing. So first ability here we have Olivia, well, the Piercing Rush. Olivia penetrates through enemies as she charges towards the targeted selection. All enemies within the path of the charge will receive 100% of physical attack. Additional effect, Chilling Effect, will be activated on attacked targets. It is AoE. Everybody in the line of the charge is actually going to get it. The damage is not that great, but it's a very useful ability. Then you have the Saber Dancing. With swords in both hands, Olivia quickly stabs consecutively as if dancing. All enemies within range will receive 119.7% of physical attack damage. Additional effect, Chilling Dust has 30% chance to be created on the attack target. Again, not the best ability for damage dealing, but those abilities only cost 1 SP and they can actually be very useful in some situations. Like that charging ability, you have a target that is far from you, that's about to die, about to get healed in PvP, and you charge it, done, let's move to the next target. So it can be very useful. Now the passive, Chilling Effect. When attacking, leave stacks of Chilling Dust on the enemy. When one enemy has 5 stacks of Chilling Dust, deal damage to the target and activate Chilling Effect. Chilling Effect, target attack damage reduced by 3%, stack up to a maximum 30%, and allies attack damage increased by 3%. So by doing that, that makes the target you're fighting take so much more damage just with that Chilling Effect. So yes, the skills, you know, Piercing Rush, Saber Dancing, doesn't do that much damage, but it increases your whole team just because of that Chilling Effect. Then we have our special ability, Zafar Takit. Hopefully I'm not murdering the name too much here. Olivia will charge towards one enemy and slash away at them using her saber to deal 1008% of physical attack damage. That is very strong. The attack enemy's attack damage will be reduced by 50% for 15 seconds, so you will take a lot less damage after you use that on the target too. Additional effect, for 15 seconds, Olivia attack damage increased by 50%, so she'll do a lot more damage. And for 15 seconds, allies attack damage increased by 40%. That is amazing, guys. That is just plain amazing. With the 30% from the Chilling Effect, plus the 40% here, if you have the 30% stacked up, plus you get that 40%, that gives you 70% increased damage to your whole team after you use that special ability. This is why, guys, she is the best at dimensional boss. One of the most important characters to have, because of that damage increase is just nuts. How to acquire is pretty much the same everywhere. Wizard Labyrinth, Annihilation, Shot, Fusing Arrow, Platinum Chest, Diamond Chest in the shop again. So the Piranha shop and the Summon shop, pretty basic. So she is the only characters in Assault that I actually recommend here. Now if we go to the Mage actually has two characters that people are arguing back and forth that they are the best. So we're gonna have to go through the two. The first one is Nephilim. Nephilim here, if we go on the skill real fast, Nephilim is actually pretty good for everything, but our casting, a long ass casting, 3-second casting on the Dark Matter skill, actually make her easily counterable. So if you have somebody like Hanout or Olivia or stuff like that, that's able to get that character counter, it's too easy to counter. But played properly, waiting correctly in PvP attack or PvE, she can actually do quite a lot of damage. This skill, Dark Matter, does so much damage, it's ridiculous. And if you have a character like a Psyart, for example, in your team that group all the target together and then you shoot at them, it will damage everybody so much. It is ridiculous. ridiculous, guys. It is ridiculous. But because of the 3-second casting, I can actually screw up your whole thing and basically get no damage done because targets move and stuff like that. So it is a very good skill, but it depends on the situation. So in the designated location, Nephilim will throw dark matter towards enemy within a narrow range to inflict 338.3% magic attack damage. Additional effect, dark matter will travel between targets that has trace of darkness and deal 203% magic attack damage. We're gonna see the trace of darkness later, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so that skill costs 2 SP, and the next skill is Fragment of Darkness. In the designated location, Nephilim will drop Dark Shard to deal 120% magic attack damage and leaves Trace of Darkness on the target for 5 seconds. So if you put that skill on your target, then you use your dark matter after, you'll do a lot of damage, and that big ball you're going to cast with your dark matter is actually going to bounce between the target that got hit by your Fragment of Darkness, pretty much. And you have our special ability. Our special ability is a very strong ability, by the way, guys. In the designated location, create a fear space for 10 seconds. Enemies within the fear space will be dealt up to 196% maximum magic attack damage over time, and defense will reduce by 40%. So it'll apply defense down to your opponents, which is actually quite useful, but not as useful as Olivia special ability and other special ability, obviously. Angry Purifier is their passive. Each time you are hit, skill cooldown reduced by 1 second. When Nephilim use a skill for a 10-second duration, she will reduce the next skill casting time by 2 seconds. When Nephilim use her basic attack, she will leave a 5-second Trace of Darkness on her target. So this passive is okay, but it's only benefit to herself. So team-wise, it's not the best. She has huge damage output if played properly, but the key point is played properly. If you play her on autoplay, she is terrible for that. But so PvP defense, it's not good, but PvP attack and any PvE you're gonna play manually, she can actually get a very good job done. Then you have Raze. Let's take a quick look at Raze here. We have Dark Blaze. Burn the target area in Blackfire for 5 seconds to deal 246% maximum magic attack damage over time. So you put the fire on the ground, that does damage very useful. And you have Darkness Protection, your master. For 30 seconds in target area, summon a Blackfire Demon that will attack the enemies. The summoned demon will deal 75% magic attack damage per second. So it's good to have a summon that's actually going to tank for you. But if you play against her in PvP defense, it's too easy to counter her, but she has a very good damage output. Then we have our special ability here, summons 3 Blackfire Demons for 30 seconds that attack the enemy. So a lot of summons, a lot of damage here. And the passive here, each hit has a 20% chance to cause black spot explosion that deal damage to nearby enemies and increase magic damage by 30% for 5 seconds. So basically, she's just good for herself. Again, similar to Nephilim, she only benefits herself. Good damage output. It's easier to actually control the damage going on because there's no real casting there's no casting time. So overall, if you are not too experienced playing a mage yet in Grand Chase, she'll be a little bit better than Nephilim. But overall, if you know what you're doing, Nephilim is going to be much better than Raze. But both of them are very good mage to have in your team. Now, if we go in the Ranger, honestly, the Ranger, I'm not impressed. I tried them. You can see I have them all at 6 stars, and they are really squishy. And they are really easy to counter, and I really think that none of them will actually make my list to actually recommend a Ranger to be recruited to be part of your team, pretty much, of your starter team. So we're not going to go deeper in the Ranger. I'm going to just say, do not invest in any rank S Rangers. Just wait till you have a rank SR Rangers. That's all I gotta say here. Now if we move to Healer, you have 2 healers that actually make their mark. We have Sage and Sachi. Sage, you'll putter, she'll be the top in the position where you need increased SP regeneration, and Sachi is going to be the best in a situation where you actually need more healing output. So that's pretty much what they do. So a game mode like Dimensional Boss, where you want to have as many SP as you can to increase your damage done, increase your buff. Sage is going to do a better job than Sachi, but in game mode like PvP, where you actually need that healing, or in game mode like Siege of Terraca, challenge mode, where you actually really need to survive in that healing, Sachi is going to be ahead. And early, when you try to progress in the game and stuff hits you really hard because your heroes are not built yet, Sachi is going to be ahead. But overall, they are pretty even. But Sage, because of a competitive PvE game mode like Dimensional Boss and eventually Raze, Sage is a little bit ahead of Sachi. Also, Sachi offers you a res that Sage doesn't offer you. So we're going to start with Sage. Here, the skills. Welcome recovery. Your allies are enveloped in a warm welcome that recovers up to 250% of magic attacks, and for 8 seconds, allies SP gain increased by 60%. See, the SP gain increase is so important here. But the skill, the healing costs 2 SP, so it is very expensive. Then you have the Mirage. For 8 seconds, fill the targeted area with a welcoming fog that will recover your allies' health up to 120% of magic attack over time, and will increase buff duration by 30%. So if you put her in Dimensional Boss with Olivia, all the buff that Olivia drop on your team will be increased by 30%. So Sage, Olivia, if you do not have any SR healer, Sage is going to be the best PvE competitive game mode for your team if you have Olivia or any characters that will apply a group buff to your team that will make your team so much better just because of that. And also, if you actually drop that, then you use your first skill after that, it's still 4 SP to use both them together. Your SP gain increased by 60% is going to be increased by 30%. You know, here. Increase the buff duration. Instead of being for 8 seconds, it's going to last maybe 10 seconds, about 10 or 11 seconds. So it's going to be very useful, but it will cost you 4 SP to actually get that done, which usually you won't have available. But still, theoretically, that's something that could go together. You use Mirage, then welcome recovery, and you're just better pretty much. Then you have her special ability. Her special ability is okay, but 40 SP, well, it's not SP, it's the blue line on the right of your circle. When you see the points going up, well, bless space, it's 40 special ability points. For 8 seconds, fill the targeted area with welcoming fog that will reduce basic attack damage from enemies by 100%, and recover allies health by 199.5%. Maximum magic attack over time. It's not strong enough for me, and the cost is not worth what's actually going to bring to you. Yes, the basic attack immunity is actually great. It can actually help you in some situations, but it's 40 special SP. It is very expensive. I don't like it. I don't like this skill, guys. Then we have our passive. Our passive is just plain OP. Every time Sage does 8 basic attack, recover 1 SP. So that mixed with the first ability, welcome recovery, that gives you so much SP regeneration. The best one as rank S healer for that. Now, if you actually need more healing output, you have this girl, Sachi. If we go on her skill, let's go fast because this video has been long enough so far. Passion. For 5 seconds recover ally L for 45% magic attack per second. So it's 200 something healing. It costs only 1 SP and has a cooldown 13 seconds. So very strong healing. And I said, her it's about the healing, it's not about the utility. Super written. Instantly recover, restore ally HP base 100% of your magic and attack, and purify harmful effects. So if you have that available, you guys are stun, silence, or anything like that. You pop that, everybody's back to normal, can use their skills and get HP at the same time. This skill auto costs 2 SP, so it's quite expensive but can be very useful in some situations. Then we have a special ability. This special ability only costs 20 special ability points. Sachi Dancing bring a blessing from beyond time and space and allows all allies to use their skill for 5 seconds without any cooldown. Without any cooldown. Like, seriously, you use that with the, for example, characters that have crazy attack. Like, for example, Nephilim with her casting ability. You could cast that skill 2-3 times and get crazy damage by using that special ability. It's not as good as Olivia's special ability, but this is a very good special ability. If you have, you know, you kill a bunch of shit and your SP are up to 10, well, it's a good special ability to use to get as many skills as you can out to do the maximum amount of damage. But it's not a skill you're going to use often, to be honest. Then we have the passive. Repeat sign. Using the power of holy music, resurrect one dead ally. Honestly, this skill looks awesome. Sorry, but this skill is pretty terrible. Yes, it will revive an ally, but that ally will come back to life in the same position he died, so he dies, so pretty much in the middle of 20,000 mobs with only 10% HP. So in 99% of the situation, guys, you guys that get resurrected will just die again right away, unless you have you pair as soon as you res, you have immunity to all damage, you know, a shield or something from party skills or Poseidon that you can actually protect him to heal him back. But other than that, like I said, maybe not 99%, but at least 90% of the cases, your guy you just resurrect will just die again. So it's not a very good skill. Basically, Sachi is all about the healing output. If you need that healing output from Passion and Super Rhythm, it is good. If you do not need that kind of healing output, Sage is going to be much better than her. And in competitive mode, guys, Sage is going to be ahead of Sachi. I do love Sachi, don't get me wrong. I'm a big Sachi lover, but I'm starting to build my Sage just because she brings so much more to the team. So guys, that's pretty much it for the rank S character in the game and that we have in the global release. If you don't agree or if you have questions, feedback, guys, let me know in the comment section. We'll discuss about it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content of Grand Chasing, guys. Have a good day and see you in the next video.